Welcome to another DorkLair collecting live stream. We are in the month of May.
Right?
It's
How'd that happen?
crazy. Yeah. Um, and uh, it's gonna be a quick month. So for me, this time of year is like a downhill slide to the end of the school year. Like it
Mhm.
is just like the kids start getting checked out and seniors have all their end of year stuff and it just like it's kind of crazy this time of year. I'm usually pretty busy this time of year. I'm pretty tired.
I'm
But
sure. When is the last day of school?
I want to say June 16th or 17th or something like that.
Wow, that's kind of pushed. Is it? I mean, I remember when I was in school, it was always like June 4th, 3rd, because I remember it was always right around my
Nah.
mom's
Up
birthday.
here
Was it?
it's usually middle, yeah, deep into the middle of the month and then
Yeah.
we didn't have any snow days this year, so it's not really pushed at all. But yeah, I remember in years with a lot of snow days getting out really like way at the end of the month.
I think the
Um,
latest we ever got out, there was one year, gosh, I was in the eighth or ninth grade. And I remember because it snowed so deep, we tried to get the four wheelers off the back porch. Snow was so deep they wouldn't go in it. That's how deep the snow. It never was like that. Um,
yeah,
we must have missed like a week of school, and it was closer to the middle of June when we got out.
we
So that
had
was unusual for us.
2015 was insanity up here. Boston got the most snow in the entire history of Boston was 2015.
Really?
It was crazy. And I remember my daughter was not even one yet, so we had a baby and we were living in Boston. So we were living in like parallel parking, street
Hmm.
parking, freaking snow over the top of our heads, trying
I
to
was going
like
to
dig
say,
out
and
cars, and then people like
yeah.
fighting each other for parking
Oh,
spots and
yeah.
stuff. Man, it was crazy.
I bet when those plows came along, if you had dug yourself out, it put you right back in.
Yeah, totally.
I remember
Um,
the last time I was in Boston, it was 2012. I was up there training for we had training for a dermatology company I was with, and I was up there. It was the week of Valentine's Day. I just remember that because I was not in a relationship at the time, and everyone that was up there was getting like flowers delivered to them. I remember thinking to myself, what a weird thing to have a week long training on a holiday like that when husbands and wives and I don't know, but yeah, that was, and it was, but I do remember it was cold. It was cold, cold. And where I flew into Logan's the airport up there, I believe. I
yeah,
flew into Logan
Logan.
and then took the train, subway, whatever. And the closest it would get me to my hotel was like 4 blocks away. And I had to get out and walk. And by the time I got there, I couldn't feel my fingers or my ears. And I'm used to cold weather, but
Yeah.
that was more than enough for me.
Yeah, I actually live currently, actually, and back then too, because I was living in East Boston, which is right by Logan. But now I'm in Winthrop, which is I live right by Logan. Like Logan is partially in Winthrop and
Mhm.
partially in East Boston, and we got the planes coming overhead in certain parts of town.
We
Um,
were where we stayed. I don't remember the name of the hotel, but it was a historical hotel. They had talked about all the famous things that had taken place there, and we were within walking distance to all of the sites that you would come to Boston to see. We went to
yep,
Cheers and we went to what's the hall there? Something
Faneuil Hall,
Hall. That's it.
Faneuil
Yeah,
Hall, yeah.
yeah. We went there, and it was all within walking
So you
distance.
were you
And
were right near there,
yeah,
or
that's
you were
where
a
our
little bit
hotel
of a
was. It
walk
was
from
within
there.
like
Okay.
a 5 or 10 minute walk from the
Okay.
hotel.
I
And
I've been to this hotel in Boston called the Langham, and I think it's a
uh
chain, but like a super high end chain. That was beautiful. It was one of the best hotel experiences, and it was just it was like our anniversary, and we are just like, let's do like like a local like
mhm.
trip, like let's just go into Boston, have somebody took our daughter, and like we went into Boston and had like a weekend, and we just stayed at the Langham Hotel, which was if you're ever in Boston and you want to stay at like a super nice hotel, that hotel is awesome.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And the gym I went to, I remember it was Gold's Gym Southie. And I
Yep.
remember going down there and they closed in my Uber. It was like in the early days of ride share. Like I think it was an Uber, a cab or whatever, but they had not gotten there. And the person that closed the gym was like, yeah, well, I'm not waiting. You're on your own. So I had to sit outside the gym. And there were some characters that walked by while I was waiting. And, thankfully it was too cold for anybody to bother stopping to do anything. But I remember I had to wait about
Yeah.
this for my ride to get back to the hotel. But yeah, the city's beautiful. I loved it. I'd love to go back. I'd love to watch.
It's an awesome city. It's like tight, and it's super walkable, and there's a lot of history.
Went to my first Irish pub that night, and they did the thing where, and I don't drink often, but when I do, I make up for all the time that I don't. And I remember they did that thing where you dip your finger in some kind of liquor and they light it on fire, but it's so thick, like it burns, but it does actually burn the skin.
Oh, I've never even heard of that. I don't even know what that is.
I don't remember what it was, but it was, they had a live band there it was like a cover band who was trying to be the Dropkick Murphys, but they were really, really good.
Yeah,
so it was
nice.
Fun.
It's funny. We got a lot of Boston fans in here.
Oh, Lord God, I like Boston way more than New York.
93. I was not in Boston in 93. I didn't come to Boston until 2007. I was in I grew up in 93. I was in Western Mass.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Who else?
Blake's right. It's Sambuca. That's exactly what it was. Sambuca. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I was also introduced to Irish car
Sambuca is the
bombs.
licorice flavor, right?
No, that I don't. I know it's sweet. I think the licorice is Jägermeister.
Okay.
I think. I know. I
was
drink
drinking
it
Ouzo,
anymore.
which is also licorice flavor. 2 weekends ago for Greek Easter, which is I love Ouzo. It's such a pre-dinner when you're just munching on the snackies and you got some Ouzo. It's the best.
I think I told you the restaurant where I worked in college was owned by a Greek gentleman. So all of the any Greek holiday, any Greek anything, he would have a big excuse to drink, and I had Ouzo for the first time whenever I was working there.
Very sweet, but it put a little ice in it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Licorice flavor is Sambuca as far. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it is licorice flavor. Yeah.
I don't recall that. I just remember the fire.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk some recent pickups. Larry, how about you?
Oh, it was a really rather slow week for me. I got okay. So here's what I did. I got, I told you I picked up, what did I do? Oh, I picked up Bone Crusher, right? Because I thought I had ordered it from Pulse. Well, I did, but I ordered 2 from Pulse. So now I'm Larry 3 times. So I got one in package too. Yeah, I'm going to either return this to Walmart or sell it or whatever, but I've got my 2 in there open, but I already had Bone Crusher last week, or 2 weeks ago, but what came was Scrapper. So got a vehicle, got a regular, and then whenever we get them to combine, this will be the leg. But I can see exactly what you were talking about. It's the same height as Bone Crusher, but it's a much more solid piece. And I converted it to the different things, and I can tell what they did with the internal structure to make it more sturdy to hold the weight as the leg. But yeah, they did a really great job with this. And what's cool is I've got the Combiner Wars Devastator, which is going to end up being somewhat larger than this one, although this one will be more movie accurate. But it's fun to compare the pieces side by side and see how they look. And while these are smaller, they're way more articulate. The transformations are better, the detail, the paint, everything. But this is a really fun piece. So we've got Bone Crusher and Scrapper, and I also got my second air raid. So now I have my 2 slingshots and 2 air raids. So I think the next thing that comes out is Hook and Long Haul come out for the Torso of Devastator next month, and the what's your name? The centerpiece, the skeleton for Superion of the aerial bots comes out. But the other big thing that's coming is the Hasbro, the HasLab Omega Prime. That's been shipping. I still haven't gotten. Yeah, I still haven't gotten shipping notification, but people have it in here and they're opening it. But there are multiple QC issues. There are yellowing on the white plastic already issues. There are issues. The Optimus Prime, when you transform him from his robot to put all the armor on him to make him a Mega Prime, there's a piece where you extend the torso. And I think you also have to do, I can't remember if you have to do it in vehicle mode or not. But the problem is you can't extend it all the way. There's something that's messed up in the internal, like the part was molded too big. And if you try to slide all the way, it'll break stuff on the inside. Now, some folks are right out of the package, it already has stress marks on it. So, like, no one that I've seen that has one in hand is able to extend it all the way. So that's the problem all the way around. Some have the stress marks, some don't. So we still don't know how Hasbro is going to handle it. There are some folks that have come up with a fix for it that involves taking it apart, filing down that little thing so it works. But when you pay, I mean, what I pay for this thing, $300.
Yeah.
When you do that for, I'm not going to call it a crown fund, for a custom made piece, you shouldn't have to do anything with it. So that kind of, like, I don't get bunched up about QC stuff very often because I know stuff happens. It's factories, but for something like this, you've got to have someone watching the stuff come off the line. 'Cause it's not like it's a retail piece, and if it's screwy, I can return it and get another one. You know, we don't know how Hasbro is going to handle it. I know when I got Death Saurus, there was a piece, the breast force piece that comes off and forms the bird. It had 2 left legs, and I was able to write to them and send them pictures, and they sent a whole new piece, and that was great. But they're not going to send a whole new Optimus Prime, so I don't know if they're going to remanufacture the part correctly or if we're just out of luck. So Hasbro hasn't said boo about it yet, so we don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll just say, "Hey, you can return it or keep it."
Right. That might be it, because this is not just a little piece, unless they want to do the piece and send folks instructions for taking it apart and putting it back together, which would suck. But I would rather do that than have to take it apart and file it down. I don't know.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah. Is that it?
That's it, man. It was a. I think I mentioned the Blokies last week. Did I mention this?
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago? Yeah, I've just not had time to play with it and put it together. But once I do, but yeah, it's been a slim week. There's a lot of stuff that came through and went into my big bad pile of loot, but I only ship that every 90 days. So I think I still have like another 30 days or so. I like to let that stuff pile up and take advantage of that $4 shipping.
So I got in the Glyos drop. Remember the Glyos drop that happened while we were live last time?
So those have already come.
Yeah, these came in. Because those are, Glyos drops are always in stock. They're always like just ready to ship. So these came in about a week ago, I think. So there was that one. And a couple fade-ins.
Oh, those are cool.
So it's some pretty cool stuff there. And then I also got in my Biblical Adventures. So I got these guys in.
I need to go check. I got a couple of emails about that. I need to check and make sure, see what's going on, because I haven't gotten anything yet. I don't know if I needed to. I thought I confirmed my address. I don't know. I'm going to have to go look at that.
Yeah, I think he's just like in the process. It's going to take a little while for him to get through everything. There's the Pantocrator Jesus that I reviewed on Easter.
So how's the construction and the articulation? How does it feel?
Everything feels great. They move really well. They have decent articulation. It's not like, there's a swivel waist. I wish there was a ball jointed waist, but it's got the ball jointed upper torso. It's got the double knees, double elbows, butterfly joints. Like, feels nice and solid. Yeah. So it's it was what was advertised. Like, it was good. They did add wires to the cloth goods.
That's nice.
It's not news, but it wasn't there on the Kickstarter. It's something he announced a little bit after. So the wires are awesome. The sculpt is great. I've only opened a couple. I got to go and dig into more of them. But so far, I mean, the paint on these, like, this is hard to see. Let me move my light over here a little bit. But the paint on these guys is fantastic. So these are like really the gargoyle type, like stone paint job.
That gray, that's like prototype paint, like I love.
Well, it's even more detailed because it's all dry brushed and it's probably hard to see here, but it's gorgeous. That's the next review, which will hopefully be this weekend.
I did get an email from them on the 24th that said my payment had been processed. So I guess I'm good.
Yeah. So what happened with that was he got hit with $25,000 in tariffs.
Really?
And he had to add a tariff surcharge. He added $1 per figure. So everybody who ordered figures, it was $1 per figure, not per order. So it could add up if you ordered a bunch.
Yeah.
and that wasn't even that was only enough to cover like a third of it, he said. But what happened was a bunch of people rallied around him and started sending him cash. Essentially, they were
Oh,
stopping by
wow.
at his table at Toy Con, and the people were really rallying around him, buying stuff from him, gifting him cash, and just like trying to help him like cover that, because I mean, that's a game changer. Like that's an entire tooling for an entire figure.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's like three tools or something like that. He said so. It would have like really crushed him. So there's that.
I need
And
to
then I
reach out
also
to him. I'll send him some cash too because I didn't realize he'd been hit with that.
yeah check the email. The Biblical Adventures
When did
Kickstarter
which
update.
email was? Oh, so was it
It
from
was two
D13
email.
or was it a Kickstarter?
It was a Kickstarter email, and it was I think two Kickstarter updates ago.
I'm gonna have to look at
Um,
yeah, because let me find that. I'm really bad about actually reading my emails unless they say, "Hey, we need money." I just kind of blow
yeah.
past them.
So I also got this light. Now it's like too much light. Hang on, let me get it off to the side a little. I also got the Maximum Spider-Man. I kind of caved
That's
in and
in my
picked it up.
pile of loot. What are your impressions on it?
It's a great figure. It's
Is
not
it $50 great?
no. But I mean, right now it's honestly like the only Spider-Man I own right now. So like I'm pretty happy to own it, but it is, it's a great figure. Like the articulation's awesome. I think it's a beautiful figure. It does feel a little more premium than a regular Marvel Legends figure on like all fronts, on the paint, on the stiffness of the plastic, the articulation, everything does feel upgraded. But the problem was it came basically the same day as this guy.
Ah, yes. My devilish
So
influence has struck again.
$55 versus $50, and I feel like this guy kind of ruined this guy a little bit
It
for
kind of
me. And
justifies it, huh?
Hasbro 50 versus Hasbro 55.
Now,
So yeah,
there's a
so
little bit to be said for owning the IP, I think.
well, yes, of course. And then I think just different products, different,
Hmm.
whole different like department of the company and all that stuff. But this figure, Larry, you were right. And I'm
How
so
fun is
glad I
that
got
thing?
it. This thing is so smooth. It works so well. And it's funny because you're just talking about QC issues on their HasLab, and this
Hmm.
thing is like immaculate in terms of transformation, movement, articulation,
Yeah.
everything. Megatronus the Fallen, man, this is, and I can't go all in on the 13, but I'm definitely gonna pick up a couple more as you get them in and you recommend them. I'll start picking up more. But
You
man,
know,
this thing,
we have four of them. Vector Prime came out in Legacy, and Solus and Prima have come out,
yeah,
and both of those are great. I think Solus is the best of the two. I think Prima's kind of plain, but I love that purple motif. But yeah, that when I took that thing out of the package, look, to be honest, everything retail that Hasbro's done this year has just been a banger. I mean, you've got the Constructicons, you know how nice those are. You've got that. And the aerial bots are just as nice as the Constructicons and those other primes. I mean, they're doing their Transformers retail line. I think they're doing it. It's just good and better. So,
yeah, yeah. I'm. It's one of the like when I was selling off a bunch of collections, Transformers was
mhm.
one of the ones where it never even crossed my mind. Like I'm keeping those. Like I love those. They're just killing it. Um, And then so I think that's pretty much that's enough. That's pretty much everything I picked up.
Are you gonna do a review for either of those or no?
Review? No,
Yeah, for it. So
probably not.
I watched Robo's review on what is it, Maximum Spider-Man,
Hmm.
and I think I would have been much happier with 40 than 50, but I'm going to split hairs. But what does excite me is we finally have a McFarlane Spider-Man. Like it
Yeah.
is truly a Todd McFarlane, right down to
Yep.
the freaking webbing it comes with. I love it.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's got a bunch of cool accessories. It's it's a great figure. It really is. And like I'm not like I it doesn't to me it's not worth 50, but I've overspent plenty of time. Like it's
Right.
not the end of the world that I overspent on a Spider-Man, whatever.
I look at it this way: the stuff I'm selling on eBay, I'm getting multiples over what I paid for it. So I look at it as a break even.
There's tons of Transformers lines that actually transform, and primarily the Hasbro retail is what we're talking about
Yeah,
here, and
yeah.
they're awesome.
And I can understand though why V Dog's asking that, because there's been so much emphasis in media or in social media put on the Blokies line and the 3-0 line, whether it's the big ones or the smaller
Yeah.
ones, and then the YOLO Park. Now I'm collecting the
Yep.
YOLO Park and the 3-0. In fact, Red Alert just went up for pre-order, and Dirge went up for pre-order, and I've got the 3 regular Seekers. So I ordered Dirge immediately. I have Sideswipe. It's awesome. I ordered Red Alert. The only 2 that are out that I don't have, didn't get Sunstorm or Acid Storm yet, and I want to get those. But yeah, so even the lines that don't transform are just fantastic. It's a great time to be a collector.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of third party. What's the little ones that you collect? The
Oh,
Legend Scale,
yeah, it's Legend Scale.
New
It's
Age,
New Age. Yep,
New Age.
yep.
Yeah.
And I've got 7 or 8 of those, and those are great because that way Steph or her family, if they want to get me something for a Christmas or birthday, she knows exactly what I have, because either she or her sister have bought everything that I have, and I just leave that as a separate collection for gifts and stuff. That way, no matter what they get me, I'm going to be happy with it, and I can wait. One exception to the rule: they just dropped a pre-order for Sunstreaker, and next Optimus Prime, he's my favorite G1, so I'm going to have to get him, myself. It looks awesome.
Larry, did you know that the MDLX Transformers line does transform? Oh snaps! Frown upside down.
You know what else it does? It transforms a full wallet to an empty one.
Yes.
That Coronation Starscream's on pre-order, so that's going to hit soon. So here we go.
All right, before we get into the news, let's hit up the chat a little bit. We got Notorious Tofu is a new member. Thank you very much. Joe Gonsalves, as always, gifting those 10 memberships are very much appreciated.
Very generous.
And Ryan, new member as well. Awesome. I don't have a giveaway today. Mostly out of, I want to basically say laziness. I don't want to ship something. I actually was doing a lot of selling and shipping of stuff. I parted out some Legion stuff, and I just have been doing a ton of shipping, and I need a little break from it. So we'll come back to giveaways next time. I do think Jesse DeStasio is going to be on next time to talk about, Jesse from Toy Pizza Knights of the Slice. He's going to talk about the Toy Pizza Expo / 5 Points 5 Points Fest, which is now about a month away. We're a month from June, which is, again, like we said earlier, it's freaking crazy. Let's see who else is in the chat here. David Williams, we're going to talk about David Williams a little bit. We got some Mythic Legions news that he did the art for.
Oh, cool.
And William Husted is here. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it's a lot of people. Tom is here. Notorious Tofu. I'm just going to jump around with some random.
I love his avatar. It looks like something from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Who's Notorious?
Tofu's, yeah. Look at his avatar.
Oh yeah. Yep. Or like one of those bricks that falls in like Mario or something.
Mario, yeah. Some one of those.
Yeah. Jordan's here. We did a little recording last night. I recorded with Jordan and Van on one of their numerous shows. Blake is in the house talking about Sambuca. All right. Cool. So we got a pretty sweet reveal last night. So this is
that's cool.
Mythic LegionsCon exclusive figures. 2 of the figures. Jeremy did a live stream last night, and they did say that there's more. So these aren't the only figures for LegionsCon, but they are going to be doing it different though this year. So the figures are going to be available both days. They're not going to do like a day 1 pack and then a day 2 pack. It's going to be, I'm assuming if they announce more, they'll also be both days. So these figures are LegionsCon exclusive. So here we go. So the first one is the Chirel, which is, I believe, an Indian ghost type character. I just kind of looked it up briefly. But yeah, this is that female body that with the new legs, the new arms. It's got that Alithia slash um, Bastet torso there, and yeah. So like always, Legions Con figures are always they're always reused. They're Jeremy. He designs them from the current parts library. Um, so the Chirel, pretty cool. It comes with a cage with the skull in there. Like I guess her. So the story is there's legends. This is like a story within a story. So mythic, within mythos, within the world of mythos, there's this tale of these crossroads where, and they might not even really exist. It might just be something that is a spiritual kind of thing, where you have to choose between one of four paths, and if you want the boon or the reward, you have to fight or challenge the keeper at each of the paths. And so there's four looks. There's two figures, but each figure has two looks. So it's sort of like four characters here that are these keepers of these paths. And this is the Chirel. And if you fail, she carries your skull around in a cage. So we have the Chirel. We can kind of do the turnarounds. Crazy good cloth goods on this. This
That's
figure's
beautiful.
got
Oh,
some
look at how
really good
textured that is. That's really
cloth.
nice.
Yeah. And then this is one of the exclusive heads that'll be exclusive in the packs they sell at LegionsCon. Because as usual, they do like the regular release ones that won't come with the exclusive parts. So it's got this head, which is from Queen Urxa, the Queen Orc, and it's repainted in that like Phantom Ghost gray, light gray, whitish color. And then the second look for this release is the nymph. And the highlight of this for me is those wings. So it's got those wings from Artemis Silvercord, the first release of Artemis, and they're these little like delicate like fairy wings, but she's sort of like a dark fairy, you know. So yeah, you can kind of see the wings there.
Yeah.
So really cool stuff there with the nymph, and then there's the alternate head there. That again, this second head is also exclusive to the Legions Con release. And then there's a look at the figure again, so now you can see like kind of everything there that it comes with. There's one figure, one single pack figure. Presumably it'll be like a $50 or $60 figure at the show. And then you got those two heads that are exclusive.
I love the way they pose these things, and the soft goods just makes it look so much more dramatic. This how thin they're able to get that material, and then with the wiring, how dramatic you can make it. It just adds to.
Yeah. All right, so JG, I wish the nymph. Yeah, it would have been cool if they had included the extra bare lower part of the torso, so that you could kind of have that look as well. Yeah, that would have been cool. Seth, can't wait to get this. She looks pretty with that head. The zombie head. Yeah, so this one and the next one both come with an extra head that's matched with Scaphoid, which in my opinion is one of the best Legions figures ever. And okay, so moving on to the next one. This is the combination of the warrior and the revenant. So these are the other two characters at the other two crossroads, apparently. So you have the revenant. Oh, by the way, shout out to Trevor with the awesome photography on these, with these gateways, pathways, gateways, crossroads. So this is the revenant. Pretty cool build out here. Uses the Poxus torso, Poxus shoulder armor, which are fantastic. Then it's got the Valiant Knight, the new Knight arms and legs, Valiant Knight waist piece, Valiant Knight loin armor there, the chainmail loin piece. So a lot of good like knight parts here. It's got the a Dalric head with the skull inside. Looks really cool. Got a little cloth good skirt in there. Very nice stuff here. There it is with the mask down. So mask up, mask down. Looks awesome. It's got the chainmail collar. And then this is the zombie head that comes with this set. And this one is so the zombie head that comes with the female pack, that one I think always will come with the female pack. This zombie head that comes with the male pack is only going to be in it for the LegionsCon edition. And then here's the look. Here's the warrior, which is there's a combination like the notion of the warrior is my favorite one, but there's a combination of parts that I think will be like my favorite. That's kind of like a combination of both this and this. But there's the warrior with that shield. So here's a look at the warrior. The warrior uses that's an extra torso, an extra belt, an extra loin armor piece, right? Different shoulder armor, different head. So like a ton of extra parts for
it's a lot of pieces.
Yeah. It uses the brute scale belt and loin piece from the centaur of Farius. But it does a good job of bulking him up, right? My only issue is like there's nothing in the back of that armor, but it has a skirt. It has a cloth goods skirt, so it kind of covered it up. If the cloth goods isn't there, that armor is going to look really strange on this figure. But with the cloth goods there, I think it's fine. And then it's got another faceplate here that's exclusive to the set. It's painted like Lady Averona, which came out a while back, and it's got those red eyes with the gray, the black kind of around them. And then the Gorgo head with those bat wings. So, I mean, just a ton of stuff here if you look at what it comes with.
That's the Warduke head.
Right. Yeah, it's the Warduke head. Yep. And it's the new
I can't
version.
believe how many parts that thing has.
Yeah,
that's
unreal.
This
thing's loaded. Absolutely loaded.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see who likes what, like what people prefer, if they prefer the female pack or the male pack. I personally, I think they're like dead even. Like I don't really think I can like pick between them.
I was going to say, if you twisted my arm, I don't know if I could pick one because they both just have so much about them that's you're kind of comparing apples to oranges with each of them, you know?
Yeah. I will say that I'm a little more excited for the female because those parts are a little more rare or haven't been used as much. But yeah, and so here you can see this one has 3 exclusive pieces. It's got the scaphoid colored zombie head. It has the face plate with the Lady Averona colored eyes, and then it has that Warduke and the Rhaegor head.
And you were saying that was a new version of that?
It's the new version. So if you got did you get Vorgus 2 by any chance?
I have a Vorgus. I'm not sure which.
You probably have Vorgus 1, I think.
It's the one that has the horns coming off the sides. Wait.
Yeah.
I've got, I might have 2 Vorguses. Which one is the one that I dressed up to make look like Venger from that's
the new Vorgus. Yeah. So the head that comes with the new Vorgus is the new Gorgo.
That's the one I didn't use. Head. Yeah, because I used the head that looked like Venger. That's why I bought him.
It's the same style. It's just a little more like it's got a little more detail, a little more like stylistic sort of like shapes and stuff in
the one that you customized me for Christmas. Was that the original head or this?
The original.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay.
That's the original Gorgo head. Yep. Yeah.
So I mean, just reiterating what I said before, maybe the best Christmas present that anyone's ever given me. I love that thing.
I'm glad.
It'll never go into storage. Whatever collection I have out, it's always going to be front and center.
That's awesome.
Love that thing.
Okay, so yeah, so this is 2 single figures that will be sold separately. So you could theoretically walk up there and just buy one or the other if you want. Most people are going to just buy both. And in fact, I think most people are going to buy 2 of each because you got 4 characters here. And if
so many
you're kind
different
of one
build
of those
outs.
completist type display people, like you're gonna want to have all 4, especially because it's like this encapsulated individual story that has these 4 characters all together. Like it just like it's a set, you know. Kind of like when they did he said it was largely inspired by the Furious 4, where they did the 2-pack, and you bought 2-packs to make the 4 figures. Definitely want at least 2 of each, says Seth. I really like that shield, like my Black Knight I got. Definitely grab 2 of each to make all 4. I gotta figure out like how many I'm gonna get, like if I'm gonna get extras. That's the thing. And that's where it gets like expensive.
I mean,
All
yeah, I mean,
right.
you need 2 of each for the characters, but there's different with all the different stuff. You could buy 3 or 4 of each and have 8 completely, or 4 completely different figures of each one.
Yeah. Yep. So
It's
many
tough.
different options here.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is I really like this torso that he's wearing here. I like pretty much like this build right here, but swap out the shoulder armor with those other kind of gnarly ones,
Mm-hmm.
and then swap out the belt and loin piece with the other set of belt and loin piece. And like that's kind of my look. It's like kind of a little closer to the Valiant Knight build,
Yeah.
and that's a look I really like. Stephen Ferguson, new member, thank you very much.
Went to high school with Stephen Ferguson.
Nice. Bill, did they say the standard version will be priced same as Legion's Con versions? Yes. So these are deluxe figures, and they're gonna be like, they don't know the price yet, but they're gonna be the same as, like, the Legion's Con price is gonna be the same as the standard price. So you're getting kind of like an amazing deal if you go to Legion's Con and you get these. It's like a little bonus for going to Legion's Con. But they said the reasoning there is that it's such a deluxe figure that the retail price has to be up. It can't be like the regular, like 37 is what they've been in the past, where like they
Oh,
drop
there's
a
no way.
singular
Yeah.
figure for 50 at Legion's Con, and then they do the standard release at 37. They said these are too deluxe to do 37, so it'll be like the same price. And David Williams, they haven't revealed the art yet, but David Williams is working on the box art for this. So congrats
Oh,
to
wow.
David
That's
Williams.
cool.
And he was on the stream last night, and they had such a great show. It was really good stuff. That was on both channels, so if you're looking to go rewatch, it was on both. They simultaneously streamed it on Four Horsemen Studios YouTube and Mythic Customs YouTube. I think Four Horsemen should make more zombie knights. I love those, like the skeletons. Yeah. So the difference is the regular release won't be a cheaper option. That's the difference. Yep. And and as usual, no exclusive bits. Love the 2. Whoops, I lost it there. Love the 2 green zombie heads. Makes good toxic zombies for Pox's troops. Yeah, and like I think I have at least 1 extra scaphoid that I can like kit out with a new head. Rest in peace, $37. I don't know. Yeah, it is gone, right? I think they said the new pre-order price for standard is 40. I mean, not for this stuff, but even just for the standard stuff, I think it is. I think that's been known for a long time that's going away, the $37 price. Although it still does exist. If you go on Store Horseman right now, there's a bunch of really good $37 figures there. Get it while you can. Also, speaking of Four Horsemen, there's a show in Easton, Pennsylvania, day after tomorrow, May 3rd. It's called the Lehigh Valley Toy Show. Wolf King is going to be there. Four Horsemen and Hedgehog is going to be there. It's going to be a good time. I wish I could make it. So head over there if you're in that. I don't know whereabouts Easton, Pennsylvania is, but if you're in that region, head to that show. It should be a good time. Let's see. At shows, old figures are still 40, which is nice. Yeah, they haven't upped them. The new figures for shows, like the stuff that releases going forward, is going to be the same as the retail price, but the older figures are still 40. Guisa says that the Lehigh Valley Toy Show is awesome. That's pretty cool. So it's about an hour north of Philly. Oh, and this weekend is also the Mythic meetup in Sacramento, I think. So if you're out on the West Coast, Sacramento Mythic meetup.
Cool.
Yep. I know Curtis made the trip out there. Cloud still doesn't have a barbarian. Maybe I can try to grab you one because I'm going to be at the Shop the Curiosity show on May 10th. Cloud, you're not terribly far from there. You should go to that one. Shop the Curiosity is May 10th. So that's a week from, that's the following weekend, the 4th annual. This show I love. It's a small show, but it's got a very high concentration of just absolute nostalgic like tables. Like it's just like, it seems like every table is like a paradise for just like digging through and finding just old toys and just crazy vintage pile. Like, and it's not like just like there's booths that have like super nice carded or bagged, like pristine, like GI Joes and vintage stuff. But then there's also booths that you just have things to dig through and just like discover stuff. It's such a good show. Horseman will be that one as well. Last year, that was the show where it was the same day as the Figura Obscura Gods of Ancient Egypt, and that release like happened at that show. That was a lot of fun. We'll be creating a portal at Lehigh Valley to connect with the Cali Mythic meetup. Purple portals. Nice. That would be cool if you could just portal anywhere. If you just like had a bunch of shows on the same day and you could just like teleport to the different shows and like visit everybody. I mean, you could have a show anywhere in the world. Let's do it. Just got to invent the portal system. About an hour and a half. That's nothing.
That's nothing.
That's good.
That's less than a drive to work for me. You better get on that.
I think it's about 3 hours for me. I'll be going.
That's still not terrible.
Getting in line outside.
Took me about that long to get home from my last doctor's office today.
Yeah. Okay. So those are the shows.
That's
and
cool.
then again, as always, thank you to the channel members. Did I get everybody? Yeah. Thank you to the channel members. No giveaway today. I'm a little like exhausted with like shipping stuff, so I'm gonna let some stuff build up before I do some shipping. So, and yeah, Ben. Was Ben there? Ben, were you there last year? Where did we first meet Ben? Was it at Shop the Curiosity or was it? I'm trying to remember where we first met. I think it might have been at that show. Yeah. Blake's drive is 9 hours tomorrow to head down to Sacramento. Well, because Blake is in Oregon, right? And so he's driving all the way down to Sacramento.
That's a hot man.
That's a haul. Yes. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I can't wait. And it's like, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, you finish what you're saying about that because this has nothing to do with that.
I was just going to say, it's a good show to just like hang out with someone and just like browse, like just hang and browse, just hang and like shop around.
I would, here in this area, they used to have this was years ago. They used to have, there was a place down here called Heroes Aren't Hard to Find, and they'd have the Heroes Convention in Charlotte every year, and it was enormous. But there's really nothing down here. There's a big con in Raleigh every year. It's usually in August, but by that time we're like between 4 and 6 weeks out from our contest, and And, unless I'm leaving the house to go to the gym, to go to church, or to go to work to make money, I don't want to do anything. But I wish we had something local. I'd love to go to a good show or a good con. It'd be fun just to walk around.
Yeah. David Williams says they're staying at the La Quinta in Sacramento, LegionsCon 2022 style. It's funny, David, because I messaged David today, and I said I was like multitasking while I was kind of watching / listening to the replay of last night's stream. But one part where my ears really perked up, and I was like, oh yeah, they were talking about the La Quinta LegionsCon, which has some great memories. That was a good show. And it was a quirky show because the hotel was like kind of run down. One of the elevators wasn't working, and it was,
Gosh.
but it still has some great memories. And they had this really cool hallway. Like, I don't know, the line was like a fun place to be that year.
What I was going to say was earlier, before we got into all this, Carius asked if either of us were getting that new Masterpiece Prime. And I don't think you're into the Masterpiece stuff, but I pre-ordered it the minute it went up.
I'm debating it for sure.
It looks good.
It looks awesome.
It looks good. When will we see Larry at LegionsCon? Whenever I'm not competing. Unfortunately, the way that LegionsCon, what month is it in?
It's like early November. It's like, it's basically Veterans Day weekend.
Yeah, the problem with that is when we compete, now since she's doing exclusively national level stuff and I'm doing professional stuff, we have to travel for that. And the last few times it's been Pittsburgh. And when you do the cost for an Airbnb, I mean, we spend, gosh, just my card, my federation card to compete is $400 a year. And then it's like $300 per class entry. So once we do all that, the food and the travel, just saying, hey, babe, now I'm going to take off and do a weekend at a toy con. I mean, don't get me wrong. She would totally be on board for it, but it would be kind of financially irresponsible. So if we don't compete next year, we're definitely going to go.
Yeah.
But not this year, unfortunately. Besides, you wouldn't want me around at that point because I would be still in that phase where I'm eating everything in sight and you might lose a finger.
There's a good restaurant at LegionsCon. It's an Irish pub, actually.
Oh, I love. Give me some bread pudding. My favorite thing. Love it.
One thing they don't have is curry fries. I love curry fries. It's basically fries with a curry dipping sauce, and I love that. I apparently that's like an Irish thing, because there was an Irish pub I used to like be right next to my apartment when I first moved to Boston. And that was my favorite. I gotta get a recipe to just like make the curry sauce myself because it's so good.
When Steph and I went to Vegas for our honeymoon, we stayed at these right behind the MGM Grand. If you look behind the Grand, there are 3 humongous towers, and those are obviously hotels, but some of them are owned by people who do an Airbnb. And so we did Airbnb there. As an aside, it cost us less to stay in Vegas for a week than it did to board our dogs while we left for a week. So figure that one out. But anyway, the first place we went when we landed, went across the street to New York, New York. There's an Irish pub in there, and we sat at the bar and did Irish car bombs, and then we sat and had a meal, and then I had my bread pudding. Because we had stayed on our diets. Our competition was something like 5 weeks before our wedding. And we stayed on our diet so she could fit in her dress and I could fit in my tux.
Right.
So we had been good. And then when we went to Vegas, brother, we went nuts for that whole week. It was awesome.
Yeah. I've been like really good lately. I'm back on the workouts and I've been like,
I was getting ready to say, is that still going well?
Yeah, everything's going really good.
I bet your strength.
I do have that like, man, I would love just a crazy burger kind of like vibe right now.
So the last time we talked, you had talked about your strength being down, but it's coming back. So with 2 more weeks, are you almost back to full capacity?
Yeah, I'm pretty much there. Yeah. So the thing with this program is it's 4 weeks. Like the first 4 weeks is like endurance, kind of like a lot of reps type stuff. And then the next one is a lot of like time under tension, like slow movements.
Yep.
And then the next 4 weeks is like building, is heavier, lower reps and heavier weights. So I'm, like it's kind of like re getting back into the first 4 week one. And then by the end of that, I was kind of back up to the weights. And then now I'm on the second 4 week thing and I'm kind of like 2 weeks into that. So getting there. But then once I start the next 4 week thing, I'll kind of be like reverted back a little bit, like when I start
Hmm.
that one. But it'll all be back by the end of the 12.
It's a smart periodization because you use that first 4 weeks to kind of get your conditioning back and
Hmm.
you get your wind back and you can make better use of those rest intervals. And then, you're going a little bit heavier, but not all out. And you're doing some more to build some muscle, have some hypertrophy, and then have that power at the end. Like growing up, that's what we learned. I mean, and there's still a lot of value in that, regardless of what level you're at. Periodization is great. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and I like it. It's the videos. I like having the videos because it just keeps me on track. There's like a
Hmm.
little bit of like motivation where there's like people on there like kind of pumping you up, and it's just good for pacing and just all that stuff.
Yeah, man, I think there's so many good resources out there for training, whether it's something like that or like for me, I'm trying to do more mobility and more stretch and more flexibility work. Now, I can go to the gym and be internally motivated to do that all day long. I know what I'm doing. I
Hmm.
make a program. I'm good to go. But when it comes to the mobility stuff, the stretch it, dude, I don't know anything about that.
Right.
So for me to find similar to you, I find a video, it's motivating. I can see how to do things the correct way. And that makes me more likely to complete it. So I love that kind of stuff. I'm so glad we have access to those kind of resources.
Yeah, and it's been like beautiful weather up here too. So like I've
Mhm.
been I've been running a ton as well. So like after my workouts, I'll go for a run, and it's like 5 days a week. I usually run 4 days a week, but
Mhm.
the weightlifting program is 5 days a week. So 4 of those days I'll run too, and I feel freaking great. Like
I like it when we can get outside to do stuff. Like when it was cold, I'd just do like 30 or 40 in the morning on this thing. It's kind of a combination between an elliptical and a stair climber.
uh
But now that it's warmer, I can do some on there and then take the boys out for a walk and use that as the rest of my
yeah
walk. And, they get some exercise. I get some sunshine, and Steph gets all of us out of her hair in a quiet house for 15 or 20 minutes.
yeah.
Everybody wins.
I'm lucky. I live on the beach.
Yeah.
I have I'm like a couple houses away from the beach, and then I'm like there's like a little beach in my neighborhood, and then when I go on my run, it's like it's like a 1 mile stretch of beach. So
Mhm.
I can kind of essentially do laps if I want to do like like 3 miles or something. I go back and
Yeah.
forth a couple times.
Running the beach is hard work too, man. Unless you're
Well, this
right
is
where the water is
I
packed.
don't run on this. I don't
Oh,
run on the
okay.
sand.
I was
This
going
is
to say
like
running
a
on the sand
sidewalk
is a
next to the beach.
special kind of crazy.
Yeah, no,
That's
no,
hard. That's hard.
and it's
Curious.
like it's not that kind of sand. There's like a lot of rocks, and it's a lot. Um, there's a lot of obstacles on this beach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Curious says, would
Let's
you
go
have
to the
liked
code.
Yellow Park making Masterpiece? You know what? They almost do. Those DLX are 12-inch scale, so they're a little bigger than Masterpiece scale. But I have a couple of the DLX pieces, and in fact, the first Yellow Park I ever bought was
Well,
the.
those are the 3-0. He's
Oh,
talking
I'm
about the
sorry.
Yellow
He's right.
Park,
Yellow
right?
Park. I'm sorry. 3-0. Yeah. If Yellow Park made stuff like that's right. They had it's more cartoon accurate. That would be cool. I would love that. Here's the thing: if they make a Prime or a Megatron, I'm going to buy it. It's going on the shelf. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it would be cool. But having said that, the 3-0 DLXs are incredible. If I had the money, man, I would have every one of those.
Yeah, they look great. And do those have diecast or are those
The
plastic
DLXs,
mostly?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah,
Those are if they are sturdy, they're chunky, and if anybody ever breaks in the house, you can use them as a bludgeon. They're
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. All right, so some more news. So this is Spy Monkey Creations, the Battle Tribes. They have a teaser this Saturday. They have a Glyos drop. If you're not familiar with those, these are the ones that you can make like He-Man figures out of. They're pretty
Mm.
small, but they're
Oh
fantastic
wow,
little figures. These are great. So they have a drop. It's ooze themed. I don't know anything about the
something from
if
Hordak's
this.
Fright Zone, I bet.
Yeah. So and I'm not sure if they've done the ooze stuff before. If Ben's in there, he might be able to shed some light on it. So I'm not sure what all the tease is aside from, yeah, it kind of sounds like the Fright Zone or whatever. You know, especially if they're coming back to more of the Masters stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I wanted to, you know, we're like 2 days away, 3 days away from, you know, May the 4th, and Celebration was 2 weeks ago. I think it was Easter. Was that Easter weekend? I think it was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same weekend
over in
as Easter
Japan,
weekend.
right?
Yep. And so I thought I want to talk some Star Wars. So we've got the Bantha, which, I mean, I ordered this thing the minute it went up. I totally getting this thing. I'm loving this. With I think it comes with the Tusken Raider, I
It'd be
believe.
silly not to, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think it comes with it. Like a car, I think it's like a separate carded Tusken Raider that comes with it. Okay, so Uzarian is a colorway, but this is supposedly a brand new sculpt. Oh, okay. A new sculpt, interesting. Now, like weaponeers or like battle tribes. Yeah, so vintage class. So this one I ordered right away, and Crosshair I ordered right away. Like though, like because I've been waiting for they only have Hunter so far in the vintage collection, which is freaking psychotic that they only have Hunter. But now they're gonna have Crosshair, and hopefully they'll continue these guys. But yeah, those are the two that I pre-ordered. And then they also revealed a stormtrooper with the big old mortar or whatever.
That's pretty cool.
I want to say this might be from the video game, from like Jedi Fallen Order or something like that, or one of the video games. And then we have Moff Gideon in his armor. Looks pretty good.
Yep.
Cobb Vanth. The other Cobb Vanth, I think he had the Boba Fett gear on, and so
He
this is
did.
like,
That's still in stores. I actually saw that at a Walmart the other
yeah,
day.
yeah. And then I want to say Marin is this character's name. She's a Night Sister from Jedi Fallen Order. And then we have, moving into Black Series, we have the same character in Black Series. And then Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order with a bunch of creatures, weird guys, weirdos.
That face sculpt is frighteningly good. Not the frog, Cal.
Yeah. I haven't played the game. I've watched a few of the cutscenes, and I need to watch more, because apparently there's a look with this figure where he has like a handlebar mustache. I don't know why, but like there's like an alternate head with a handlebar mustache. So I got to find out why he's got that. Yeah, with the mullet, right? With the mullet and the stash. Yeah, it is Marin. Okay. So that, yeah, the Bantha is 1/18th. And now the stuff from here forward is 6-inch. So we got a new Han Solo. Looks pretty solid.
Yeah, that one looks really good.
And then a new Chewbacca.
And that's new sculpt. So don't sleep on it if you know there's new sculpting. I think the Han Solo is mostly newly sculpted parts. I think there might be one or two things on there that are reused, but that's mostly new sculpt, and the Chewie is a new sculpt as well.
Nice. And then Dash.
I'm getting that.
Shadows of the Empire.
I've not bought a Black Series in forever, but I'm buying Dash Rendar. I love that game so much. I love Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And that was the first one where you could do taking down AT-ATs with a snowspeeder, right?
Yep.
They had that in that game, right? Yeah. Because then they had Rogue Squadron, where it had it, and it was like Rogue Squadron was like that level. It was like an entire game. You know what I mean? Yeah, bust out the N64. I actually still have my N64. That came out later. That was the episode 1 racer set.
Oh, really?
Which the actual N64 was a regular N64. It was really just the packaging, but I still have the packaging. It was the packaging, and it came with like the game. But I still have the box for that. I was always a
That's
box keeper
cool.
when it came to like my game systems. So I still have my GameCube box, and my N64 box, and my
That's
Wii
so awesome.
box. Yeah,
Love it.
Nintendo boxes always had a very, very distinct smell to them. It was always like I could, if somebody put something that smelled like that in front of me right now, I could immediately recognize that smell.
I remember that. I mean, we didn't game a ton. My brother did more than I, but I remember it's in the seventh grade when we got our first NES, and I remember the feel and the smell of those old cartridges when you'd pull them out of the box. I
Yep,
love that so much.
yep. Um, Star Wars. Yeah,
I was going to say
'90s
those
couches.
yeah, the shoulder pads are very Rob Liefeld.
Freaks still has their PS2 inbox. Hedgehog still has his N60. Yeah, would have been college for me. 1999. It was like that might have been a graduation present from my mom actually. That
Cool.
N64 with the Star Wars Racer, the pod racing game. Still have Ocarina inbox. Boxes are worth more. Yeah, yeah, they are. I mean, the systems
Yeah, I
are.
bet they
There's tons of
are.
them, but yeah,
Yeah,
the boxes are probably rare these days. Jamie Lannister. Yeah, this kind of looks like Jamie
a
Lannister.
little bit, a little bit. Let's take a hand off and see what we think.
Cloud says, I still can't believe Bill is older than me. Yeah, Jamie Lannister. That's funny. Looks good. How they have like Marin in both.
Mm-hmm.
We need Dash. We need Dash in
Yeah,
both.
if they do that, then Shizor won't be far, but Shizor won't be far behind.
Yeah.
Which is another great Black Series figure. Like I don't know if you've seen that one, but I came really close to picking that up. I saw that in the wild. I can't remember if I saw that at a Target or a Walmart. For some reason, the Walmart when I stay down in Fayetteville, my overnight, I stay at a hotel with a kitchen, so I can cook and prep my food.
Mm-hmm.
And so whatever I haven't brought with me, I'll go to Walmart, buy groceries there. And I always go to the toy aisle to see what's what. And for whatever reason, this one particular Walmart, they always have that's where I found my aerial bots, the ones that I didn't have from Hasbro Pulse. That's where I found that Bone Crusher. I found so much stuff there.
I wonder if they have a toy department manager that's like cares
That's
about
what I'm
stuff.
thinking because I went in there last night when I got my groceries, and all of the current classics figure class or vintage collection figures out. They had all of those. They had a bunch of the latest Black Series stuff. Yeah, it's really the only place I ever go that seems to be well stocked on the toy aisle.
Yeah. I wanted to pull up Kevin Hamilton's comment here. So many college memories playing Mario Kart 64. Absolutely. That was like we skipped classes to just hang out and play Mario Kart all day long in college. We would bring food from the food court. I was telling this story to someone recently, but we had a snack master. I don't know if you remember the snack master.
What's
It was
that?
like the sandwich maker that made pockets. You would put two pieces of bread in like the toppings, and
Oh,
then
I
you
remember
would
seeing
squish
that
it
on
together. It
television.
would make two
Yeah,
triangle pocket things. We had one of those, and we would just
yeah.
take loaves of bread and tuna and cheese from the dining commons, and we would bring it back to the room and make tuna melts and play N64 Mario Kart and drink
That's
beers and stuff in
awesome.
dorm rooms. It was the best.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Okay, figures with 10 memberships. Thank you. I should bring my Switch to LegionsCon and we can have a Mario Kart battle. Hey, they have that TV. They basically have a living room in that lobby, that side lobby. Like, we should totally hook a system up over there.
There you go. That's what you should do.
Let's see. Mario Kart and GoldenEye tournaments. Yes, totally. The 4-player. That was like the birth of the 4-player games. It was the best. Cloud is probably saying, I remember the Snack Master. Just Google Snack Master. If anybody's not sure what that is, Google it and you'll probably be like, oh, yeah, yep, I totally remember that. Yeah. N64 with snacks with homies. Totally. It's the best. Okay. All right. And then Hiya Toys out of nowhere, I feel like, suddenly has a
Wow.
Rocky license in
Yep.
they're known for their 118 scale. This is actually 112 scale. This is a 6-inch Apollo Creed. Like super cool. I think the
It
figure
looks
looks great,
really good.
right?
It looks really good. And if they get some traction with this, you can do Apollo from Rocky 1, 2, and 3. You've got all the versions of Rocky. You got Drago. You got Clubber Lang. If they ever do a Drago figure, man, I'll scoop that thing up in a hurry.
Yeah, look at this. Looks pretty
That
good.
looks so good.
And if you look here, this definitely looks photoshopped, but he comes with a piece of the ring. So he's also got, hold on, wait for it. There you go.
Oh, that's so good. I had not seen that picture. I had just seen the first promo pic. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that
And there you
looks.
go.
Oh
There's the full.
man, what's the retail
Looks
on
pretty
this?
sweet. I think it's like $115. It's like Mezco level stuff, I guess. It's a little
I might
pricey,
be collecting a new line. I love that.
we'll see like how they come out. Like I don't know if like what are they chat, what are they doing in 112 right now? Like what's Haya doing in 112? It's not Star Trek. I'm
They're
trying to think of
doing
what
the
they're
three
doing
and
in
three
112.
quarter GI Joes, aren't they? That's who's doing those,
Yeah, they have
right?
like
Yeah,
the 3 and 3
those
quarter
have
stuff is what.
gotten like I've not heard anything bad about those, but I like you said, I don't know of anything they're doing 112.
Yeah, this song is in everybody's head right now.
Yeah,
Oh, they're also doing
man.
Rambo. That's what it was. They're also doing Rambo.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. I that popped up. I thought it was an interesting thing. Like I just kind of felt like it came out of nowhere. But if they're doing other Stallone properties, I guess it kind of makes sense. Oh, Universal Soldier as well. Okay. Um, are they doing RoboCop? I'm not sure. Haya is doing Judge Dredd, RoboCop, and Rambo. Okay, there you go.
Now I might get the RoboCop. I had ordered that Mafex RoboCop, but it had like there were just too many purple highlights in the armor. It looked purple. It didn't look silver or gray or whatever it's supposed to be. So if they do a RoboCop in 112, I might jump on that.
Haya did a 112 Dread, but the ankles suck. Yeah, that's the kind of thing. It's like they're kind of newish to the 112 game, so it'll be interesting to see.
Back the photos up. There was a picture of Apollo throwing a punch. I want to see what if they showed his feet there. Yeah, there's not much flexibility in those ankles. No pins or rockers. Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, unless there's something under the boot, like some kind of mechanism under the boot or something, but it doesn't show movement here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
And then there was a live stream last night for Savage Crucible. Apparently, they have some pretty close to final production figures in hand, and they sent them out to some of their artists. And so, like Timothy Peak got this one. This is Who Man. This is their Barbarian Wave, and I have a couple. I have some shots from Timothy, and I have some shots from Nikki. So this is what this is looking like right now. Looks pretty good. I feel like the torso and like the flesh look a little monotone, like maybe a little like plasticky, but it might just be the photos. We'll see. Like some brighter shots, like some more well lit shots might reveal some like paint subtleties on the torso and stuff, but overall looks pretty solid. And then Nikki has the Nashorn, the Disinherited or something like that. This figure looks great too.
That is pretty good looking.
Yeah, and she's got a couple kind of close-ups that you can see some of the paint details on there. Nice fine detail stuff. There's also some nice like shading and yeah, so it looks pretty good. And that's it. So looking forward to that. I don't know like when that wave is supposed to ship. Yeah, there's somebody had pictures of Jaeger but I can't remember who. Like I saw it on the stream. I forget who has Jaeger. He's the werewolf looking guy. Um, but yeah, I want to say these are. I mean, if they have near finished factory samples, then these are like this has to be like a mid-year thing, like probably like June or something like that. Hopefully, they come in smoothly. The Lemurians are great. Fish people are great. Frazetta stuff is incredible, and this wave is just not as fun. I mean, it's when you got like crazy weird creatures and stuff, it humans tend to be a little boring, right? But there's a couple crazy things. Like I think this wave has. No, it doesn't have that one. There's that like. There's one like Cthulhu looking guy. I don't think that's this wave though, actually.
So I'm
the Jaeger is in this wave too, so that's pretty cool. The plastic people have a healthy plastic sheen. June ship date currently. Yeah, I mean, if they're not on the water yet, like I guess the question is, are they on the water yet? Like, did they get? If they're on the water now, why would these? If they shipped some stuff out, like airmailed some stuff, why wouldn't these be final product, right? But if it's not on the water yet, then June would be the earliest. Like late June would probably be the earliest at this point. We're in May already.
Yeah.
Rob went all in on wave 2. I did not go all in on wave 2. The only wave I went all in on was wave 1. Savage Crucible is going to give Mythic Legions a run for their money. We'll see. I mean, there are long ways from. I mean, even so. Let's think about it. The Savage Crucible has kind of put out 3 figures. So far, they've released one body. They've released the Lemurian body, right? This year they're going to release the human body, and then next year they're going to release the fish body, and then a couple of variations in there. So like they have a long way to go before they have a large library of different types of characters. Like it seems like, oh, they did that Kickstarter, they introduced 3 different bodies. That's a lot all at once. But like Mythic Legions introduces like 3 or 4 different, at this point, like 3 or 4 different bodies a year. Like,
yeah, they've got such a
catalog. It's going to be tough to compete with that. Yeah,
it's going to be a long time before anybody's even giving them a jog for their spare change, let alone a run for the money.
Yeah. Savage Crucible is not going to give Mythic Legions a run for the money.
That's not to crap on what they're doing. The figures look great, but
yeah, totally.
Let's not get over the skis
there's
here.
room for both. There's room for both. They're both doing some different things.
I was going to say they're doing different things. They're serving a different niche in the fandom.
Are they going to have a bug body? I guess Cosmic Legions has a bug body, or somewhat of a bug body. Savage Crucible will give Mythic Legions a run for their money in 10 years when Eric decides to retire, maybe?
Yeah.
Dispatar has bug parts. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and they definitely look good together on the shelf. There's even some intercompatibility. There's a few things where you can like, it takes a little extra heat, but like I'm pretty sure the lower legs you can pop back and forth between the 2 lines. Death Dealer. Oh, Death Dealer pre-order ends tomorrow, by the way, folks. So if you're looking to pre-order the Savage Crucible Death Dealer, that is May 2nd. All right. And again, I apologize for not doing a giveaway today. Again, I'm just like, I'm a little burnt out on shipping. It's a little break.
It'll take so many trips to the post office.
We'll do two next week, or like a few of them next week. We're definitely doing at least one next week because I know that Jesse said he's going to give away whatever is going to be the exclusive for Toy Pizza Expo is going to. I think he said that he's going to give that away. So that'll be cool. Savage Crucible Wave 3 looks great with the transparency and small light under them. Oh, yeah, and a small light under them. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Benny ordered his Death Dealer. Benny, how many Death Dealers did you order? Because I feel like you never order just one. You're like Benny 3 times.
I was gonna say he's a barbarian version of me.
Yeah, Cloud. Hop on with us at some point for sure. Yeah. He goes all in, man. He's deep into Glyos now too. Brutal Realm has kind of grown silent since March. To my knowledge, I'm worried not necessarily about my money invested, but worried about its existence in this tariff world we're living in. Yeah, I mean, they're still a ways off, so things might clear through by then. I bought 3 Death Dealers, Blake. Did I buy 1 or 2? I bought at least 1. I can't remember if I bought 2. I bought 3 Elrics though. Let's see here. Realm is pushing along. Does anyone like the Armored Wolf from D20 Studios? It gives more options for figures to ride than just... Yeah, it works great with Mythic Legions and stuff. Yep, that Armored Wolf is fantastic. I recommend it. And I want to say it's been a little cheaper lately. Like it might have gone on sale or something like that.
Didn't you get that bill?
Piece.
Wasn't
yeah,
there
they
some
sent me
humongous...
that for
That's what I
review,
thought.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what
I've since passed it on, but yeah, I had that for a while. I do still have their boar. I kept the boar because it's small enough. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes it's just space, you know. But yeah, the boar's great too. Yep. Blake got 3 Alrics also. Yeah, the boar. The boar. It's pretty sweet. I almost like the boar better, just because it's a little more manageable. But they both look great. They both look fantastic with mixed in with legions and stuff. And the bear is going to probably, Legion's bear is probably going to be out by the end of this year. That thing's going to be sick.
It's going to be a monster. Yeah, it is.
Which Death Dealer do people think will be the definitive? I kind of think that the Savage Crucible one will. Although we did see some pictures of Loose. Is it Loose Collector is doing that really expensive one with the horse and stuff?
Yep.
They showed some pictures of a factory prototype unpainted today, and it looked decent. But I just feel like the Savage Crucible one's probably going to be the one to beat. Did I get the black or brown boar? I have the brown boar. Bardvar will be a game changer. Mezco Death Dealer is dope, but Savage Crucible looks amazing. Savage Crucible Death Dealer gets my vote.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at the various pictures of them now. I think definitely that Savage Crucible.
Yeah. And they worked really closely with Frankie Frazetta.
Yeah.
Frank Frazetta's grandson, who runs the Frazetta Museum, I believe. And he had some really interesting insights about the skin tone and all that stuff. So it sounds like, like the licensor took great interest in the relationship with Savage Crucible. So, yeah. Trevor says, I think
that?
Savage
Go ahead. I'm
Crucible
sorry.
Death Dealer is going to be pretty definitive until Frazetta Girls does one. Yeah, that's right. Because they will probably do one as well. Yep.
When is that Savage Crucible one supposed to ship?
I want to say end of year or early 2026. because the pre-order is just ending tomorrow, so that's still a
Tomorrow.
ways out.
Yeah, I've had a window open on my iPhone for like 4 weeks and trying to decide if I want to grab it or not. Haven't decided
Q4, yeah,
yet.
and
Okay.
Elric must be Q3, Q4, somewhere in there. But things change. Like everybody's got to be aware. Like things change, things get shifted. I mean, this Barbarians wave of Savage Crucible was supposed to be out last year, right? So
Yeah.
things get pushed. But a single figure is a lot easier than a whole wave too, so it's probably less likely to get pushed.
Right.
Yeah, so the Death Dealer is Q4. Wave 2 is shipping soon, but Death Dealer maybe end of year. Yeah. And I think they said Death Dealer is compatible with all the other ones, so you could totally like mix and match parts with all the other like human barbarians. All right. I guess that'll do it for tonight.
I wish I could go back in time and not have missed out on that Mezco one. I really like it.
Yeah.
Such is life.
I had my issues with it. It's got the cylinder neck with the light up.
Yeah.
So there's very minimal articulation in the neck. I felt the cloth goods were very bulky.
They look
Like,
bulky.
They're just like it was, it was a solid figure, but to me, people love it because it's Death Dealer, and there currently aren't many Death Dealers out there. I think this one is going to be better than that.
Yeah, it looks to me like this one is more for almost more of a staction because everything's so bulky and stiff. It doesn't look like it really lends itself to a lot of articulation.
I mean, everything moves except for the neck. Everything moves
Yeah.
really well except for the neck on the Mezco. But the neck is kind of a big deal when you're posing, and then it's just the cloth goods. They didn't flow right or sit right or have wires, and I don't know. It just didn't really like sit well for me, like the look of it. Oh, we got a super chat from Blake, Bill, and Larry. I appreciate you both. I hope everyone has a blast at whatever show they are at this weekend. Yeah, Lehigh Valley or the West Coast Mythic Meetup in Sacramento are the two this weekend. And then next weekend is Shop the Curiosity in Danvers, Connecticut. Not Danvers, Danbury. Danvers is near me. Danbury, Connecticut. And there might be something else going on next weekend. I'm not 100% sure. And then the other one I'm going to will be June 7th and 8th, and that's the Toy Pizza Expo / 5 Points Fest, which is going to be a blast. Mezco, yeah, the Mezco one, that's partly why I sold it. It's very expensive on the aftermarket. It's like, and it was expensive to begin with. It was like $150 figure. So if it's like a $250 figure, like that's not even double price, but
it's like $325, $375 on eBay right now.
Okay, yeah. So it's up there.
Here's the one with the print, $550. It's nuts. Yeah, I wish they'd
How much
re-release
are
it.
I think I still have the pins. Maybe I should sell those. I wonder if those are going for anything.
Let's see, because it's parted out. I mean, all the parts are like the freaking head is $55. The cloak is $40. Wow.
So
Shield's
sell
$35.
your Mezco Death Dealer.
That's
another reason I think people are like obsessed with it, is like something goes up in value and suddenly it becomes this it becomes awesome.
I hate to say it, but at least part of the reason that I lament missing it so much is because it's so inaccessible now.
Yeah.
It's stupid, but I guess that's human nature. I don't want it. You can't have it. I must have it.
Shout out to Dan Who Reviews having their 100th episode this Sunday. Nice. Starting around noon Eastern time.
Guys, I apologize that I'm continually fondling myself. The other thing I got this week was some stitches. Had to have a thing on my skin removed. The dermatologist was concerned about. So itching like crazy over here tonight. Yeah, man, it's driving me nuts. First couple of days it just hurt. Now it's itching like crazy.
Dave said he sold his Mezco Conan after the new Four Horsemen version came out. That's one thing I won't sell. That's something I still
No.
think is incredible. Are the Mezco Conans?
Yeah, I think I've doubled up on one of them because there were 2 releases, right?
3.
3 count King Conan, but there were 2
Yeah.
of the Barbarians. So I got
Yeah.
2 of one of them because there were like multiple outfits and I wanted to display both of them. I don't remember which one I got 2, but I've got 4 of them. I've got 2 of one of one, and then the King. And I kind of want to get a second King Conan just because of all the different ways to display it.
There's a lot of looks, yeah.
Yeah, those things.
And then
are
there's
so
the
nice.
Barbarian Builder Pack, which actually I think is one of my favorite Conans now. Let me show this one.
Isn't that why I bought the second one? Because I had that pack. I think it was.
So this, I love the look of this, the way this King.
Yeah.
looks.
That's why I bought the second one because I bought that pack. Yep.
With that tunic, man.
Yeah.
And this was a tight fit. This was kind of tough to get on there, but once it was on, and I have the pants, the C. Jessam custom pants.
Yeah.
But man, this might be my favorite Conan right here. This is so
I remember when that first one, because the only reason I got it was I think you and Bill both got it, and I was like, okay, I got to check this out. I want to see it because up until then, really the only Mezco I had a bunch, all those Batmans, and I think Steph had bought me either Punisher or Cable, and I really liked them, and I got that, and I was just like, holy crap! It just blew me out of the water.
Yeah, that's another thing about King Conan right now. Where did I just see it, Benny? It's probably the cheapest one. Like it's
still like retail on eBay. It's like $120 on eBay.
Yeah, and it might be my favorite one. I mean, it's got the upgraded articulation.
Yeah.
It's got so many different parts, and it's probably got the most details of any of them. The only thing is, like, I do feel like it kind of needs the pants. Like, I do really like it with the pants on, with the CJ pants.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's awesome.
That's a good piece.
All right, we keep false ending here.
All right, I'll shut up now. I'm done. That's all I got.
All right, I gotta stop looking at the chat. Okay, so yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks with Toy Pizza. And I hope everybody has an awesome time this weekend at the various shows. So yeah, Larry, you got anything going on?
I got nothing, man. No, not much. I mean, Mother's Day's next weekend, so probably traveling to see either my mom or her mom. We haven't decided yet, and then we'll see the other one later in the spring. This May and June are really weird because we've got like. In June alone, we've got like 6 or 7 birthdays. So it's really hard spreading our time out. So we'll be doing a little bit of driving over the next couple of weeks.
Cool.
So that's it.
Yeah, and I got a quiet weekend this weekend. Next weekend's busy because of the Shop the Curiosity and then Mother's Day on Sunday. So and then the week after that will be our next show. So I think it's May 15th we'll be back on here. So
cool.
Thanks everybody for watching, and until next time, may the force be with you.
Follow me.